Why don't you introduce yourself first, and then we'll get started with the exercise.
Oh, hi, I'm Carol Goldstein, and I started learning piano when I was 9.
Fantastic.
And I'm really interested in this. I didn't know I could compose, but I did once in the 70s. I wrote a couple pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't done anything since.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thanks, Carol. So why don't you come on over, and we'll do this exercise together. So, folks, you can follow along on the worksheet. I'm just going to kind of explain the idea of this exercise. You're not going to need the worksheet. We'll just...
Okay.
So what we're going to do here, it's very much a listening-based exercise. And the constraint we're going to set up is essentially like a drone in the left hand. So we're just going to play one single note, or maybe an octave. Maybe you want to grab this octave C here with your left hand. There you go. Yep. And you might want to use the pedal to hold it. Yep. And I want you to think of that as like a drone instrument. You know, maybe like a bagpipe or a didgeridoo or sitar. Think of it as just kind of this nice, steady drone. And it's a piano, right? So you can't literally drone. The sound is going to... Okay. So you're going to have to use your listening and kind of re-engage from time to time to get that drone going. Okay. So you're going to be droning with your left hand.
You want me to keep doing?
You're good for now. So as long as that makes sense. And then and then you're going to take your right hand and just use these 3 fingers, the first 3 fingers, thumb and second and third. And we're going to make a little shape with our fingers. I'm going to have you start it right here on the C. Yeah, that's the shape. That's the shape, but you can play them in broken order. Yeah, that's good. So get used to that sound, get used to that feeling. You can play them in whatever order you want. You can create a little rhythm. You're doing that, like dum 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 dum. That's good. Yeah. And so the idea of the exercise now is you're going to kind of combine these. You're going to have the drone. The drone's going to be going.
On and off.
On and off. Whenever you think you need a little more drone, it's up to you. You're going to move. And the key part is that once you're ready, you're going to take your whole right hand and just move it so that the thumb is somewhere else, but keep the same shape, right? So, just move the whole hand. Sure. Yeah, you can move it anywhere.
I'm trying to think where it was.
Yeah, so I don't want you to be thinking at all, so what I'm going to tell you to do is close your eyes for this exercise. You're just going to listen. So you're moving it around according to octaves, so you're repeating it everywhere. I don't even care where you move it. You move it wherever you want. Yeah. How does that feel? Yeah.
Interesting.
Try a little more.
I wouldn't have done that before. Okay.
Try keeping your eyes closed. I think it'll really help. Just
Really?
just listen. It doesn't matter what notes you play.
Okay. But you want the same shape.
The same shape. If they mess it up, it's okay. Great. You did a lot of really intuitive things. So you know, sometimes you played the notes at the same time, so it would be like da da da, and then right. That was just I didn't tell you to do that. You just came up with that. That was really nice. You re-engaged the drone sort of instinctively when you needed to. That was great. Yeah. So this is an interesting method in that you don't even know what you just played, right?
No.
You don't even know which notes you played.
I would have to be inspired, but I'm not inspired yet.
Right, yeah. So we can think about, if you're okay with pushing it in some different directions, another thing you can try is playing a different drone note.
Instead of the octave?
Instead of the C's, just play a totally different note. Just move it up to a D.
But it should be octave?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds better.
You like that better? Okay, yeah. So it's going to change. I'm going to claim it's going to change everything, which is pretty surprising because you're kind of playing the same stuff in the right hand. But the way the sound goes against the bass really changes it. So just demonstrate that. I think it'll be interesting.
So I should do the same shape thing? Like
Yeah, just do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Beautiful, yeah. I think you really vibe with that one. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah. I think you did like that note better. You can tell.
I did.
You can tell.
I got
Yeah.
more
You were really into that. Yeah. So if you're.
You know, I mean, that was really good. That was really nice. And it reminded me of a question that I was going to ask later, but I thought it would be a good time to ask now is, do you record yourself when you're improvising? And the reason I ask that is, even though I don't have the discipline to do that a lot of times myself, it's if you somehow come across a good idea that maybe you wouldn't have thought of, you can then go back and then harvest discuss. That, I would like to have a recording. In fact, I will have it. But I would like to have a recording of what you just, like it had shape, it had...
Yeah, give it up.
Really good. And so anyway, I figured I'd ask you about recording yourself while you're doing this. At the beginning, you probably don't want to do that because you just want to improvise. But
Right, it's a pain in the neck, right? Because you just want to play, and now you've got cables and microphones and whatnot. So I wouldn't say I do it like regularly, but yes, I mean definitely. Sometimes I'll make it an intention, like okay, I'm just going to record something every day for a couple weeks, something like that. Yeah, and even then, it's like. Even if you have a recording of it, then you have to do the arduous work of figuring out what the heck you just played. Like, I bet you wouldn't be able to repeat that exactly.
Not exactly, no.
Sometimes that's the beauty of improvisation, is that it's there for that moment. If you tried to do it again, it's emptier somehow.
When did you start improvising? When did you realize you could just make things up?
Yeah, I think I was sort of mentioning to the audience earlier, but kind of in my 20s or so is when I got more into it. So I guess it's been about 10 or 15 years now. Yeah, one thing I'll say is like sometimes when I'll get good ideas from an improvisation that's recorded, I'll be able to remember maybe not exactly what I did, but perhaps the constraint that led me there. So I'll bet you could do a similar improvisation right now if you wanted. Right, because okay, I was playing this D drone and I was kind of moving this shape around, and obviously you can't replicate the exact notes, and maybe your emotion will change on a different day. It'll come out different, but in some sense it'll be the same-ish.
It helps to remember the beginning.
beginning, yeah. So some of the pieces that I've composed are not sort of like strictly written out the way like Bach or Chopin or whatever is, but it's sort of like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing for these first 8 bars, and then, now I kind of know what I'm doing for this B section, and so that's at least my own kind of personal take on that.
But you do write some things down?
Yeah, sometimes.
It just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, right. It's painstaking. Even something relatively simple, you just perform, not to take anything away from it, but like that would still be kind of annoying to notate, like, okay, what are the exact notes? What's the exact rhythm? One thing that I think helped you anchor yourself is that you found like a steady rhythm. I don't know if it's been a few minutes, so maybe we forget what just happened. But you were playing kind of like a, sort of like. It was more regular,
I didn't even realize.
And that seemed to flow better for you because the initial exercise is very loose. It's almost free from time. It's just like drone. There's no beat with the drone, right? It's just drone.
I see.
Right. So if you're into like meditation and sort of more mindfulness kinds of sounds, you might like that. But if you're a different kind of energy, you might prefer like a right?
I just think it's amazing. You told me to close my eyes, which I did, which I thought was really cool.
Not only did you come up with something cool, you weren't even looking at it. It's not really.
I had my eyes closed the whole time, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, so it seems like a party trick, but I promise you it's actually, it's kind of a common idea, right? Like people who are visually impaired maybe are more attentive to sound, right? If you block the visual field, it just kind of makes it easier to focus on the sound. And in this case, we don't want to be distracted by what our hands are doing because we don't even really care. Like we know where this drone is. You're not going to mess that up. You can't even really mess up the right hand because it's just playing a bunch of white notes. Like what could go wrong? So you just listen. And your listening, I think, created better shape. It created, these dynamics because you were listening so carefully.
And having a shape helped.
You did that all just from listening.
Yeah. Very good.
Great, I think, there's some more directions on the worksheet if you have other ideas.